Tengo que ir, mi amor, recuérdame. No llores, por favor. Te llevo en mi corazón y cerca me tendrás. A solas yo te cantaré soñando en regresar. Remember me. Though I have to travel far, remember me. Each time you hear a sad guitar, know that I'm with you the only way that I could be. Until you're in my arms again, remember me.
Good morning. Hopefully you can hear that. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is my pleasure to be able to welcome you here to East Campus, to our School of Arts and Entertainment that's here, and into our film theater. My name is Dr. Stacy Johnson, and I serve as the campus president for East Campus and the Winter Park campuses. And I want to first start just by thanking our Carla Del Bellagio and Alan Gerber and our opera theater workshop students who will be performing throughout our process today, and for making this a very special occasion. It is also my honor to recognize representative to the Florida House, Carlos Guillermo Smith, our state legislator representing East Orlando, District 49. I will introduce him further just a little bit later. And I want to thank all of the Valencia Pulse family members who are here today to join us in paying tribute and in remembering. And of our 7 students that we lost, we have 4 of the family members that are here with us today. And please know there were family members coming in at the end, and if I missed anybody, please know that we love you and that we honor you and are so glad that you're with us today. But Amanda Alvier, mother is here, Myra, Aunt Myrna, Uncle Anthony, and brother Brian. We have Oscar Arancena Montero, the father, Bienvenido, mother Betty, brothers Adrian and Abraham. We have Corey James Canal, father James, mother Tara, sister Amanda, grandpa Jerry, grandma Jamie, Aunt Tracy, and cousin Gage, and Juan Ramon Guerrera, father Juan, mother Myra, sister Celia, and also cousin Celia. We welcome all of you here this morning. I'll pause just for a minute to welcome some other family members in to join us. Welcome, families. I also want to take time to recognize the Pulse Remembrance Committee for their special and dedication of work. It took us close to a year to do this work. I want to recognize Michelle Foster, Joe Cerubo, Ishmael Perez, Ana Santil, Charles Ensminger, Crystal Farai, Zachary Huck, Liz Giacino, Jory Allen, and Angelise Perez. And finally, I want to thank Roger Corvo, Susan Howard, and Lucas Wirtz, our ground supervisor, for their assistance in everything that you will see today. Now I want to invite each and every one of you to remember the Pulse nightclub shootings that happened 2 years ago on June 12th, 2016, where 49 individuals, predominantly young and Hispanic LGBTQ youth, lost their lives in a hateful and horrifying act. We stand together today to never forget. We stand together to reflect on the grief we have shared. We stand together to remember our loved ones. We stand together to remember our students. We stand together with resolve to use love and peace in the place of death and hate. As our city now moves collectively to remember June 12th, 2016, we can describe the many remembrance events that will take place throughout our city as days which reflect love and kindness of our great city. And so it will be here today at Valencia. We will not focus on the act of terror or hate, but rather on the great love that has been demonstrated and the great coming together of even greater heights of compassion and love for one another in our city and in the region. As in many great faith traditions, there are times that we set aside to slow down and to reflect on the difficulty in our human journeys, such as Yizkor in the Jewish tradition. Yizkor, which literally means remembrance. The people of the Jewish faith tradition stop and remember events such as Passover and the Holocaust, and they remember together how difficult it has been to be Jewish, to be human in the world. In this time of reflection, they also appreciate those who have made the decisions to keep their faith against all odds. So too, in Catholicism, we remember during the season of Lent the arduous journey of Christ to the cross and reflect through more intense prayer and small self-denials of giving up foods and of tithing to the church. Ultimately, Lent gives way to the joy of the resurrection of the Spirit and of being reborn anew. Today, and in honor of those lives we have lost, we will dedicate a new site of remembrance on East Campus where we have planted a new rainbow eucalyptus tree, and we have placed a monument and plaque, and we have created a reflection area to support all of our students, and especially those of our LGBTQ community. We do this in remembrance of those that lost their lives so that we might provide greater understanding to all of our students, faculty, and staff, as we tried to last year when we dedicated a part of our library holdings, which helps to provide education to all of us about the LGBTQ community. And so now it is my great honor and privilege to recognize Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith. Representative Smith has been a champion for civil rights in our community. He is a champion of access to affordable higher education in our community. He has been outspoken about gun safety, mental health, and has been an outspoken leader in support of all of those who have been impacted by the Orlando Pulse nightclub tragedy. So please welcome Representative.
We'll give an opportunity to students now and students in the future to be able to reflect on how this tragedy may have made a positive difference in the community as a silver lining, that perhaps some folks have learned in the aftermath of the tragedy to love rather than hate. And I think today is a opportunity not only to remember those who were taken, the 7 Valencia students. We can also pay tribute to them in our community by honoring them with action. But today, this beautiful memorial, which I'm really excited to see and I haven't seen yet, is Valencia's love letter to those students and to their families who now 2 years later are still remembering and missing their loved one. We stand with you and thank you for being here.
I refuse to feel tragic. I am aching for more than pain and grief. There has got to be meaning. Most of all, when the life has been so brief, we have got to learn something. How can we give them any less? We want life to go on. We want days of plenty.
You have to believe there is reason for hope. You have to believe that the answers will come. You can't let this defeat you. I won't let this defeat you.
You must fight to keep them there within you. Believe that they matter, and believe that they always will. They will always be with you. They'll be part of the days you've yet to fill. They will live in your bounty. They will live as you carry on your life. So carry on, full of hope. They'll be there for all your days of plenty.
Thank you. And now I'm going to ask you all to join us on a very short walk down to the remembrance site.
Este árbol y placa a 7 estudiantes de Valencia College y 42 otros que tuvieron sus sueños y aspiraciones cortados por el odio y la ignorancia. The act of hate at Pulse ended the lives of 49 individuals who lived alongside us as students, performers, businessmen, and everything in between. The act also wounded countless others both physically and mentally, just for living, dancing, and singing proudly, without fear in an LGBT nightclub. Whether the shooter chose them because they were part of the LGBT community, because they were allies, or for some other heinous motive, I hope this dedication inspires people to support and love each other for each of our individual identities, so nothing this horrific will ever happen again. Tolerance is a poor substitute for the love that our community so desperately needs. Our similarities may bring us together as kin, but it is our differences that truly make us appreciate one another as a community. The bark of this tree will grow in a rainbow of brilliant colors. These 7 seats in the shade of the tree will provide a quiet place for contemplation, honor, grieving, and peace. Our community is still healing even now, and I hope this dedication to Amanda, Oscar, Corey, Mercedes, Juan, Jason, and Luis carries us further along that path of healing. I hope that years into the future, people who visit this memorial will see a memory of our past, and their present day will be a milestone of how far humanity has come. Espero que en años futuros gente que visita este sitio vean una memoria de nuestro pasado y en su presente realidad vean un signo demostrando lo mucho que ha logrado la humanidad. Gracias. Now we will read the names of the 49 victims of the Pulse shooting. Number 1, Stanley Almodovar III.
Gilberto R. Silva Menendez.
Rodolfo Ayala Ayala.
Kimberly Jean Morris.
Antonio Devon Brown.
Akira Monet Murray.
Daryl Roman Burt II.
Geraldo A. Ortiz Jimenez.
Angel Candelario Padro.
Eric Iván Ortiz Rivera.
Juan Chavez Martinez.
Joel Rayón Paniagua.
Luis Daniel Conde.
Jean Carlos Méndez Pérez.
Tevin Eugene Crosby.
Enrique L. Ríos Jr.
Deonka Deidre Drayton.
Jean Carlos Nieves Rodríguez.
Simón Adrián Carrillo Fernández.
Xavier Emanuel Serrano Rosado.
Leroy Valentín Fernández.
Christopher Joseph Sanfeliz.
Peter Omi González Cruz.
Gilmari Rodríguez Soliván.
Paul Terrell Henry.
Edward Sotomayor Jr.
Frank Hernández.
Shane Evan Tomlinson.
Miguel Ángel Honorato.
Martín Benítez Torres.
Javier Jorge Reyes.
Jonathan A. Camuy Vega.
Eddie Jamoldroy Justice.
Juan Pablo Rivera Velázquez.
Anthony Luis Laureano Disla.
Luis Sergio Bielma.
Christopher Andrew Linonen.
Frankie Jimmy de Jesús Velázquez.
Alejandro Barrios Martinez,
Luis Daniel Wilson Leon,
Brenda Marquez McCool,
Gerald Arthur Wright.
Thank you all for coming together today in remembrance of Pulse in our community. The catastrophe of these deaths cannot be altered, but they and we can be transformed by love. We close by unveiling the East Campus Pulse Remembrance Monument. Ishmael? We invite you to lay your flowers as you leave, and we thank you for coming, and Vayam Kam Dios.